Good morning or good evening or whenever you pick this up. I am Graham Gordon Thomas and I am the rational environmentalist, and I will be putting a series of these videos together to explain environmentalism and politics and what's involved in this from a very as rational point of view as possible. And whether you believe me or not, that's entirely up to you. You're not supposed to believe all white men. That's because we might tell you the truth. And if you don't think we're telling the truth, go and find out for yourself instead of believing anyone. Why believe young white men? Why believe anyone when it comes to your own survival or anything in politics? Don't believe anyone. Find out for yourself. It's the most important thing about being a democracy. Freedom to find out for yourself and question. So, the freedom to find out for ourselves and question means that the whole ethos and comedy, if you like, of climate change in a place like Australia ought to be looked upon more open-mindedly than it is. It's been taken so seriously by the various players, the Greens, the Liberals and the ALP, and you have to wonder why. They have taken, oh, it's so serious we have to panic. We have to panic so much, we have to push the electricity prices up. Oh, we have to pay more and more and more and more, forever more, 20% more next year, 20% more the year after that, and 20% more the year after that, all compound interest. To save the climate. At the same time, these jokers, and they're having a joke, they're having a lend to the society or having a laugh. At the same time, these people rely upon the 90% of the coal that is dug out of the ground in Australia is exported to be consumed in furnaces elsewhere. So the same people that are saying we can't use coal and we have to have very, very high power prices and stuff like that to save the climate could not exist without the export of millions of tons of coal to finance all of their policies. Many of them are so poorly thought out and so illogical and irrational in every aspect of them. You can see there is no thought amongst any of the political parties. Now, this is the point. The ALP, Liberals and Greens are actors. Everyone thinks they're politicians in the old sense, democratic sense. They're not. They're selected because they will play a role in a corporate strategy. I mean, it doesn't matter which party. If Malcolm Turnbull was the leader of the Greens or the ALP, he would play the part that he is paid to play. If Bill Shorten became the leader of the Liberal Party, he would play the part he's paid to play. If Dino Talley could become the leader of the Liberal Party, he would just play the part that he's signed a contract, they signed a contract, you will play this part, and then they join the theatre of the absurd, which hoodwinks the Australian population, amazingly so, that it's doing something about a climate. Well, whatever anyone, and instead of telling children and young people and the media, ABC especially, which is in on this plot, to destroy the economy of Australia, to make people get people used to living through lower living standards, that's what this is about. It's nothing about climate, it's lowering living standards, not temperatures. What they've done, if you took away all your inhibitions about looking at these people objectively, you took and went behind the scenes and you traced back the people who control the strings of these players in this game, you would find it with the same couple of powerful entities way behind the scenes in Europe or wherever they are, in America, wherever they are pulling the same strings on the Liberals, the Labour and the Greens. They pull as if somebody, they're puppets. All they are is a show. And See, if they're said to the kids or to society, oh, we've got to get electricity prices down to cut down emissions, if they'd pushed that line from the beginning, which would have been just as easy to get electricity prices down as it is to put them up, just as easy, they're very much a far greater benefit to society, and you can still reduce emissions just by putting the windmills and the systems in the ownership of the people and doing a contract deal with the people within the regions. You give them the benefit of owning the utility that they have. It's like the government owning your washing machine, or the government owning your car, or the government owning your lawnmower. A power system is a tool, that's all it is. It's a piece of equipment that runs the rest of your system. A washing machine is a piece of equipment that washes your clothes. A car is a piece of equipment that moves you around. A lawnmower is a piece of equipment that mows your grass. A power system is a piece of equipment what runs your lights and your TV, etc., and your jobs and your business. That's all it is. It doesn't matter who owns it. And it doesn't matter which sort of supply it is. So those who call people like me a skeptic, it's not the climate change thing we're skeptical about in exact, because we like to discuss this openly and freely, like scientifically and rationally. What we're skeptical about is the whole process of putting up the price of energy so much is causing massive disruptions and sort of massive problems for ordinary families, ordinary workers, ordinary businesses, or businesses are closing down, and that many people are being put off work. And for what? And because the elite behind this, they're secure. In the government, in the Liberal Party, Labour Party, in the ABC, in the Greens, they're all quite secure. They get good salaries. If they retire, they live on big pensions, and they're all happy and saying, "Oh," and they're willing to sacrifice the rest of society, the serfs. They think we're all everyone's serfs. They're willing to sacrifice everyone for their wealth gain. They're not sacrificing everyone for to fix the climate, because, you know, if you think about the amount of emissions that Australia has, and everyone can research this, it's not secret, you can just go and do your research. It's about 0.075% of the whole global emissions. On humans is about 4% of the whole global emissions. 96 or 95.5% of global emissions are through natural development, from organic decay and growth. That's what it is. And if they were really concerned about educating children, they would say to them, find out for yourself. They wouldn't say, this is what you've got to believe, because that's what Muslims do. That's what they're doing, saying you have to believe this. And that's what Catholics did for centuries. You have to believe this. Now we've gone back to a time before Galileo, when Galileo was jailed by the, locked up by the Vatican for saying, look, or Copernicus, the Earth goes round the sun. Oh no, you can't know that. No, you're not allowed to know that. So the Greens and the Liberals and Labour are saying you're not allowed to know things that you could naturally find out just by reading and researching and looking on the web and doing your own, finding out for yourself, doing your own calculations if you can. Learn how to do that. None of this is hard to understand, not as hard as complex as they would make it out. None of it is. So the Greens, the ALP and Liberals are pretending, and they differentiate themselves. Well, we're going to close the borders, and we stand for this, and we stand for that, we stand for gays, or we stand for this, we stand for that. None of them stand for anything but the party itself. They're corporations. The politicians are signing into a contract to work for the corporation, not for the demos. They don't sign a contract, we must work for the benefit of the demos, or the people living in society. They work for the benefit of the party alone. There is none of their policies that actually are rational. And we can go through every one of them, from education to electricity, to pensions, to all of them, to superannuation schemes, to all of them, and show that none of them are actually economically rational or democratically rational. People are confused. They don't want to vote for Liberals and Labour anymore. But it's just that they're the major parties with most, they dominate the seats. So, and you have to park your vote somewhere. So people, and it's compulsory, so people will vote for them and keep them, some of them, in power. And that's what's, there's something missing now in Australia, is the intelligent parties, what are rational, and tell people the truth, and just take it on by telling people the basic truths about things, and let people deal with it. If people want to carry on, and when the ABC and the Greens and people and the ALP start screaming at people, oh you're a skeptic, oh you're a denier, oh you're racist, oh you're that, it's because they do not want to get into a rational argument or rational debate with someone who may know what they're talking about. So it's a big smoke screen. The screaming climate denier, climate denier, climate denier is a big smoke screen for people like myself who are very, very concerned about the future of our grandchildren. We have grandchildren. We don't want them living in poverty. Well, a bunch of Greens elite and political elite live in luxury because I've squeezed them down on electricity prices, because they've done secret deals with windmill sellers. They could have sold us, the people, the windmills. We could have owned them like the Danish do. We could have had the benefit of this new renewable energy, so our bills came down. The wind blows free, the sun shines free. Once you install your equipment, you've got no further expense apart from the occasional maintenance of it and paying off the bills for owning it, like you would a car or a washing machine. So they could have put these things into the hands of the people, or ownership of the people, and the people would have got the benefit forever and ever from cheaper and cheaper electricity prices, as it should be, and their economy would have been secure. At the same time, then they would have been acting on climate change in a rational manner, because they would have been improving the lives of people instead of destroying the lives of people. That's what rationalism does. It says, what's the point? Let's have a look at objectivity. What's the point? What is the objective point? To cause poverty, or to save the climate? If you save the climate, fine. Let's go along with saving the environment. I'm an environmentalist. But the human environment, the heart and in the mind and in the home, is the most important environment of all. Unless that's looked after, all rest doesn't matter too much to humans. Because humans living in perfect environments, natural environments, are living in abject poverty. Unhappy, and there's people living in terrible environments, deserts and freezing environments, and living in abject luxury and very happy. So the outside environment is extraneous to the inside environment, how someone lives in their home. Anyway, this is Graham Gordon Thomas. I am the rational environmentalist, hoping that if anyone listens to this, you'll do your own research. Don't believe a word I say. Call me a stupid old white man. I don't care. Maybe I am a stupid old white man for doing this. But the thing is, I don't care what people call me. I'm not a politician. I only care for the truth, and to try and protect young people who've been lied to, misled, uneducated, told furphies, and told that you can't question things. And when they say to you, you can't question things, that's when they're removing your human rights. That's when it becomes it should be called not New World Order, but New Religious Order without the God. Okay? Anyway, Graham Gordon Thomas, I'm the rational environmentalist. Trying to sort of wake people up a little bit. Thank you.